Hello, I'm Nathan Judah. I'm here with Shrewsbury Town reporter Lewis Cox. Lewis, Checkatrade Trophy final, big occasion at Wembley, and they fell short, didn't they?
Yeah, they fell short, Nathan, you're right. They didn't turn up to the standards that we expect of them this season, other than a couple of flashes in either half. We knew what Lincoln were going to be about physically. I think around when Lincoln got the game's only goal, Town were a little bit rattled by it and sort of, you know, unsure of how to handle it, and there just wasn't enough. They started the second half okay, Town, but that was it. There was no building of momentum.
Sure.
From an hour onwards, it petered out, didn't it? It's a bit of a damp squib. There was no sort of charge on the goal, and yeah, I've been out with a few of the players there, and they're disappointed. They know they haven't done themselves justice or showed the national audience what they can do, and yeah, disappointed day. And the Wembley hoodoo goes on, and yeah, disappointing afternoon, a tough one to take for fans and players and the manager.
Going back to the start of the game, and it could have been a lot different. Probably one of the best goals Wembley's ever seen. Stunning half volley.
Quite right, mate. Yeah, Bryn Morris down this end in front of the Lincoln fans. Town started the better team. I'm talking first 10 minutes. I know the Lincoln goal was after 16 minutes, but for the first 10, my Beckles went on that fine run. From that corner, Bryn Morris with a delightful left-footed half volley. He's never scored for Town, but I mean, what a strike. He's not left-footed either. But that was going in all the way. Keeper was nowhere near it, and didn't have a bit of luck there. And yeah, so it was a good start, good 10 minutes, and we were kind of thinking, oh, you know, Town look like they're handling this and look like they're playing their game, knocking it around all right. Playing with width as well. But
then there was that big incident, wasn't there, where on another day, Lincoln could quite easily have played the majority of the game with 10 men. What was your verdict on the situation?
Interesting one, that, wasn't it? Because the game was obviously screened live, we had people at home and other people messaging us in rather than just a game at the Meadow, and we had the replays as well, because live viewing, I would say, myself, yourself and Joe Massey, we didn't think it was particularly it didn't look definite penalties when you've seen it. Every time we're watching these replays now and on Twitter and so on, you know, the word intention, he's leading with his arms and he's looking at Dean Henderson.
That's the thing, that he's looked at him last minute, Anthony, he's gone with the elbow, and you can see that
the
intent.
arms weren't up. He's looked at the keeper, then the arm comes up. Not sure. It looks bad in my opinion, and you know, he was the panto villain, wasn't he, and the hero for Lincoln. Reed is absolute unit, big fella, big battle with Toto, who had the facial injury, and it looked for that period at the start when Dean Henderson was flattened in the incident that Town didn't quite know how to get to grips with him. Lincoln seemed to be getting the lion's share of the sympathy from the ref and getting free kicks and so on, which they're dangerous from. Reed tires obviously and came off after an hour, but he played his part, panto villain, and I'm sure he's been doing that all season, you know.
And at the same time, just after that, Henderson perhaps maybe could have done better, maybe not, but spilled the ball and it's led into it, and then a period of 20 minutes where they were literally shell shocked, Shrewsbury, weren't they? I mean, they could have conceded more.
Hurst has attributed no blame to Dean Henderson for the goal. I don't think it was just after the incident, yes, but I think they'll be disappointed that it came from a corner, didn't it? Which, you know, it's sloppy. The first ball, it looked to me on the replays that their lad beat Sadler to the first ball, got a volley on goal. Henderson, it was close range, sharp volley. Henderson parried it. I don't think he could have caught it realistically. He parried it, and following up reactions, losing the first ball, they lost the second ball to the man in the 6-yard box, Whitehouse, who, even though he's in the 6-yard box, seemed to have a lot of the 6-yard box to himself to put it in. Like, the Town player should be reacting from that, but you know, I think one of the players had just suggested to me down there that Town didn't quite expect to be behind and didn't know how to recover from an early setback, and that knocked them off their stride, and Lincoln had their tails up, all kind of led to a first half that was forgettable. Very few incidents in Town's favour, a couple of chances on goal, but general play, I thought Town didn't, as you said, didn't know how to sort of, were shell shocked, didn't know how to handle Lincoln in their sort of pomp, doing the things that works for them.
They had 10 minutes obviously in the first half, maybe 15 minutes in the second half, but clear-cut chances, they were few and far between.
First half, ironically, the one really, I suppose, was the Beckles header from the corner.
Stunning save.
Yeah, hard for us to see without a replay, like, because we're looking down on the keeper how far across he had to get, but it looked really sharp reactions. The rebound's contentious, we couldn't see it live at all, but tight angle, but Toto missed kicks, swings and strikes there. Then it falls to Bolton, the right back, at tight angle. We all thought it hit the post. And apparently, so people are saying, it's hit a hand of their skipper Waterfall, and I did hear up there that the Lincoln player admitted that happened. That's tough to take, especially if a player's deliberately used his hand and to block a goal. But another bit of luck with the read, what could have been red card that went against Town, but
did they
do enough after that did they do enough after that to make their own luck? No. Those things could have gone for them, but Hurst was similar to this in his post-match press conference, actually, that looking for excuses, just don't think they turned up. And
it's just frustrating with the way that they've played this year, that there's such a big occasion, you know, that they have fallen short.
It is a big occasion, and there's a strange build-up, wasn't it? Because it is a big occasion, but then you had, I don't know, half of the fan base saying
you've got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, I don't really like that phrase, but it's realistically, I mean, it is true. You know, if you'd have offered everyone a defeat here today and top 2,
oh, of course,
it's no-brainer. But you know, you can take this defeat as a positive and spin it on its head. You know, realistically, this club could be here again in just over a month for a much bigger game.
Well, look, if they're going to win Wembley game, that's the one they want to win.
And all.
Could it help that they've got that experience today, that they understand the Wembley experience now?
Without doubt, I think Hurst has said, and you can read this on our website shortly, that, and I found this really interesting, his players struggled to cope with the occasion. Now, he's been unmanaged in the occasion a few times, and he's actually said that to me before about some of his Grimsby players struggled to handle the Wembley occasion, and he said that's happened today. He hasn't said who, but you know, I think a few Town players were quiet today individually, and we didn't see anything from them who've played well in recent weeks. So they've had a taster for it, and the few players I spoke to down there in the mix zone said that we stayed out there on the pitch to watch them get the trophy. We stayed through the pain barrier to watch them and feel how much it hurt to watch the other team celebrate. So that bodes well, because they said it's made us sort of, and it's a cliche, but it's made us more determined to be the ones up there next time, because once you've tasted it and how much it hurts, and trust me, it did hurt those players. They were all absolutely downbeat, down there, distraught. They won't want to go through that again, you know, naturally.
And they've got a quick turnaround now, and they've got to come back from this, don't they? Because they can't feel sorry for themselves for too long.
No. What day are we on? Sunday. They're back into work on Tuesday, where I think it'll be forgotten about, won't it? I mean,
well, they've got to. I mean,
well, will they even analyse it? Realistically, probably, you know, how to mark from a corner better, but they won't come up against that many reads in League One this season. And you know, they play Thursday night at Bradford, which is, I don't know, is it awkward that it's so soon, or would you rather have a longer turnaround next weekend? But Hurst said that game's on Sky, big audience. They've got to react. Bradford are really struggling, but it's about how Town either put this out of their mind or use it as extra inspiration to, you know, push them on. They've got to turn it around quick, and they've always, I have to say this, they've always reacted this season and responded after a rare defeat in the league. This is a low for them, and I do back them to come out firing, because they've proved it time and time again. Disappointed for them today because they didn't show what they can do, and you know what we've all seen they can do many times. But it's just one of them days. It's how it's played out. Lincoln's game plans won the day, but there's nothing to say that Town won't respond the right way at Valley Parade on Thursday, and you know, put all the disappointment into that, channel it the right way, and you know, get a good result there. Yeah,
disappointing day for Salop. It's Shrewsbury Town 0, Lincoln City 1. For all the post-match reaction, make sure you log on to shropshirestars.com.